The Dodgers get their heads kicked in for the World Series opener. UCLA kinda maybe has a path to victory in Indiana. And Mark Walter flashes that megawatt smile, not to mention $10 billion in cash to the NBA so he can buy the Lakers. Good morning. I'm James. And this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the Faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is October 25th, 2025. I'm on my way to the airport. By the time you see this clip, I'm going to be heading back home to the wife. Can't wait to see her. Do you like being in the know about LA sports? Well, if you do, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop an update. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. Now, before we go through the news and notes, we have an expanded look at the scoreboard through the Dodger playoff run. Starting with Toronto 11, Dodgers 4. Game 1 of the World Series was kind of gross. That was not rust. That was not rust out there from not having played. That was more like mold covered in fungus, cockroaches, and yes, maybe even some fecal matter. It goes like this. We all knew the Dodger bullpen was a dumpster fire. We'd seen Dodger baseball all year. We knew exactly what that was looking like. So, Blake Snell, he runs out of gas in the sixth, left with the bases loaded, nobody out, and the game tied at 2. And in comes the bullpen, and suddenly in Sky Dome, to quote 1980s hip-hop, Emmett Sheehan lit the roof on fire. Then comes Anthony Banda with a gas container, a fistful of matches, and let it burn, mother effer, burn. It was not pleasant. Toronto scored 9 times in the 6th. 9. So here's what we have discussed on this channel multiple times. In the aftermath, we go back to the basics. The scribes are addicted to panic porn. Your team loses in the playoffs, they try to get you worked up, like they're all trying to get you to subscribe to their OF page. Oh my God, the Dodgers lost. The walls are closing in. Doom is around every corner. There is no hope. We may as well just pull a plastic bag over our heads, tie it shut, and taste oxygen one last time. That's the way the news reporters are acting this morning. For example, Captain Emo, Bill Plaschke of the LA Times, made his return, trying to get us all to clutch our pearls. What is his thesis? Doubt has crept in. Look, we do not do panic porn here, okay? Do you know why? Do you know why we don't do panic porn here? Say the Dodgers win tonight. They don't even have to go and drop 11 on Toronto. Say they win 4-2. All of a sudden, you know what the press is going to do? Oh my God, Toronto just lost home field advantage. Doom is around every corner. There's no hope as the series shifts to LA. We see this. We've seen it before. We're going to see it again. And if there's one thing we have noticed about the Dodgers since the start of September, this is not a team prone to panicking. They didn't panic in Milwaukee. They didn't panic in Philadelphia. Now, to be honest, we all prefer they win. I get it. I prefer a short series, but if the Dodgers get the win by stretching it out to 6 or 7 games and they wind up dancing in Toronto's AstroTurf, I am totally cool with it. I am okay also with letting Dave Roberts throw those gas cans out there during game 1, letting the fire rage out of control. Because the thing that I remember about butt kickings, they tend to light a fire under the team that got its ass kicked. Shohei Ohtani hit a two-run home run, but whatever, on to game 2. Oh, and speaking of panic porn, do you remember a couple of days ago, oh my God, the Lakers are exposed. There's doom around every corner, right? Yeah, last night they beat the living hell out of Mini Scrotum 128-110. Slapping around the team that eliminated them from the playoffs last season. Luka Doncic dropped 49 points. And also the Clippers, they got their first win. They kicked Phoenix around 129-102. James Harden with 30 points. Okay, meanwhile today, Dodgers are at Toronto at 5 in game 2. Yoshinobu Yamamoto gets the ball. Obviously, Toronto leads the series 1-0. LA is still just 4 wins away from repeating. UCLA, though, is at second-ranked Indiana at 9 a.m. Now, we try to limit the hot take predictions here. I'm more into describing paths to victory, strategy, things like that. If your team has a chance, let's talk about how they make that chance a reality instead of claiming victory before it happens. So, is there a path for the Bruins to defeat one of the 6 remaining undefeated teams in college football? Is there a path for the Bruins to land their first victory over a top 5 team since 2006, when Osama bin Laden was still alive, for Pete's sakes? Well, kinda. That's more than what we could have said if Deshaun Foster was still coaching the team, if we're being honest with ourselves. There's a possibility. Had they not brought in the interim coaching staff, no, there wouldn't have been a possibility. You and I both know this. So, what is the path that the Bruins have? Pass defense. UCLA concedes only 178.9 passing yards per game. They're the 20th best in the nation, which is pretty damn good. Now, you can imagine those numbers being fudged a little bit. You could. When the Bruins opened up at 0-4, they didn't lead in a single game. Why would you want to go and pass when you've got the lead? Run out the clock. Moreover, it's not like UCLA's pass defense has been boosted by a great rush. UCLA only has 6 sacks this year. But it's still a path. They're going to need the defensive backs, the linebackers, and yes, possibly generate a rush because they're facing current Heisman favorite Fernando Mendoza. The Hoosiers have the 7th best offense in the country, 4th best scoring offense. It literally is just as simple. They have to take something away from the Hoosiers. They have to take something away. If they can, and that lessens the odds of this becoming a complete track meet, then yeah, that's a path to victory for UCLA. I wouldn't put money on it, but it's a path. Because if the Bruins can't slow Indiana, that 3-game winning streak is going to come to an end in an ugly fashion. By the way, the Kings are at Nashville at 5, so what do you say we get back to the news? I don't want to give you doom scenarios, but if you believe, as I do, maybe say a prayer for Alex Vesia and his family. He's not just going to miss a game or 2 of the World Series. Dave Roberts said he most likely won't participate at all as a result of this, quote, deeply personal matter, unquote. It's described as, again, quote, so much bigger than baseball, unquote. And if that doesn't give you an idea of just how heavy what he and his wife are apparently going through, I don't know what would. Now, it's not fair to speculate. What I can tell you is the press statement mentioned Vesia's wife, and TMZ reported she's pregnant. That's all I can say. I'm not going to make a guess. It isn't fair. As a result, the Dodgers had to cobble together a bullpen that didn't include Tanner Scott and his 10 blown saves. Ben Kasparius, who was part of the National League Championship Series roster, he didn't make the cut either. Instead, what the Dodgers did is it kind of has a roll of the dice vibe to it. They added Will Klein and Edgardo Enriquez. Now, Klein only pitched for the Dodgers in the regular season before last night. Last night he did get called in. He pitched one shutout inning. Enriquez has only made one appearance in the first round of the playoffs. That was against the Reds. And he didn't get an out. So again, the Dodgers front office rolling the dice to try to get those final 4 W's. Dodger part owner Mark Walter pitched his $10 billion bid to buy most of the Lakers from the Buss family. That pitch was made to the NBA yesterday. So saith ESPN. Now, Walter could be approved by the league by the end of the month, which, check your calendars, is coming pretty quickly. Should the sale get the thumbs up? Should it get the thumbs up? Let's be real. Do you really think any of those money-grubbing piglets in the NBA would turn down a $10 billion valuation? Do you realize how much that would hike up the value of their own franchises? Right? I don't care how jacked up your arena is. I don't care. You sell the Lakers for $10 billion, all of a sudden yours just shot up another half a billion at least. So yeah, Walter would arguably have the most valuable conglomeration of sports franchises on the planet if this deal goes through. He would own almost all of the Lakers, owns a big chunk of the Dodgers, owns Chelsea FC of the Premier League. Now, the Buss family isn't going to completely cash out. They would keep about 15% of the team. Here's a plot twist. The Chargers dodged a long-term injury. Who thought that would ever happen? Derwin James, one of the linchpins of the defense. He's technically a safety, but the Bolts line him up all over the field. He left Thursday's game. He was seen in a walking boot. The NFL Network is reporting that the Bolts do not believe James will miss any games. Center back Ryan Hollingshead has extended with LAFC through 2027. He came back to the black and gold, or I should say he came to the black and gold. By the way, I'm obviously about to board a plane. It's the middle of the night. I'm not totally with it, you guys. Forgive me. He came to the black and gold after playing 8 years for FC Dallas. He won MLS Cup with LAFC in 2022. Hollingshead is actually quite valuable. He leads all active MLS defenders in career goals, 31. He is tied for the second most goals all time by an MLS defender. So yeah, I think this is a guy they would like to have finish his career in their jersey. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Are you in fact panicking over the Dodgers losing game 1? For that matter, are you drinking the hopium about UCLA out in Indiana? And if you enjoyed this update, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Cortel Queso production. Take care.